I'm joined here today by the one and only MMA prospect, Isi Fitikefu. Hopefully I said that correctly. What's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, good man, not too bad. Yeah, you said the name correct.
There we go. See, that's a good start right now. Where are you currently in the world? I assume you're out in Australia under quarantine like everybody else.
Southwest Sydney, Gregory Hills. Um, yeah, Sydney.
For sure. So, how's lockdown going for you? I believe you're still going out and working. Is it getting tough on you?
It's alright. Just gotta take the positives, I guess. I mean, I'm still training. Obviously, if I wasn't, I would be probably rip all my hair out. But
Yeah.
but now I'm staying active. Running. Got my little brother here training with me as well. So so it's good.
So, do you have like a home gym, or is there a gym you're able to go to so you can still get your training in?
Like a home gym. Like we got. I was lucky enough to get given some mats, and my younger brother he helps me up in some of my camps. So he lives with me, so it's pretty good. Like we grapple together, we box together, kickbox together. So yeah,
And so, if I remember correctly, you're still working during this time, right? You're still going out and you have to work.
yeah, I'm still working at this time, but I work a night shift, so it's all right.
And so, what do you do for work?
I was coaching, like I was working two jobs, but obviously because everything's closed down, like the gyms, and I was coaching Brazilian Jiu Jitsu to our students and for full time, and I work with mental health, like looking after people with mental disabilities.
And so, how's it going for juggling those two jobs, obviously along with your fighting career?
It's all right. You just got to do what you got to do, I guess. I've got two kids. If I don't work, they don't eat or they don't have a roof on their head,
Right.
and then I'm stuffed. So, but yeah, I just got. I have to go to work, like regardless. Um, I'm a provider first before I'm a fighter.
For that makes a lot of sense, and I mean it's good to hear that. Obviously, with the children, I mean, is there a goal of yours to eventually go full time in MMA, or is it just about doing what you got to do?
Now, my goal is to compete full time in MMA, but it's slow. Not a slow process, but you just gotta like I always say, you gotta trust the process, take the steps. You can't just rush. If you rush, you're gonna fucking end up on your ass, especially when you got a family as well.
Right.
You can't just rush into things and just fuck boom, and then you got nothing in your pockets, and then you're fucking back to squat.
Right. That makes sense. I want to talk a little bit about your MMA career. I want to start all the way at the beginning. How did you get into MMA?
So I was playing rugby league in the beginning. I was playing for so like one of the like sort of like an NRL team, but you play in the juniors. So I was playing for a team called Cronulla Sharks. I was playing throughout the juniors and playing all the way up, and I put all my eggs in one basket and tried my luck in rugby league at a young age. I was playing good, and then after like making the teams, they started. Then they told me you got to trial again. So I trialed again, didn't make it, but I was scratching my head because I was doing all the right things. I was playing good, staying fit, like any other sport. And then I tried rolling the dice one more time, try and get in the same team, and then got the letter saying, "Mate, sorry, try again another time."
Uh,
And then and after that, it was just everything. I felt all my dreams shattered. And then, but ever since I was a kid, I've always wanted to do like combat sports because I grew up in New Zealand, like in the same neighborhood as in South Auckland, like Mark Hunt, David Tua. So I've always wanted to like follow their steps. And then I finally grew some pair of nuts and walked into a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym. And then from there, continued on to MMA and then started here.
and so when you started, were you a fan of combat sports at all, or was it just you just wanted to participate in it?
Oh, to be honest, I just wanted to I wanted to participate because fuck, when I was a kid, I was a slut ass and I was always getting into fights with older people and that, older cousins, and I wouldn't back down to them. But I don't know, I've been a competitive person as well. So, But like, also I'm a fan of the sport as well. Like watching guys like fucking David Tua and Mark Hunt, just short, short and explosive, sort of similar built to myself. I was just like, oh man, if these guys can do it from rough neighborhood, I'm sure anyone from this neighborhood can do it too.
And so you mentioned rugby league, and an example everybody has for that is Alex Volkanovski, and we know just how much bigger he was when he was doing rugby league. Were you much bigger when you were doing that, or have you stayed around the same size?
I stayed the same height, but not the same size.
Right.
Um, I was when I was playing rugby league, I was like 110 kilos,
Oh yeah.
like a wrecking ball. Like same story as Volkanovski, like just blowing out balloon and playing rugby league. So
And so, what did you do to get back down? I mean, did you, is it just about going in the gym and stuff, or did you purposely get your weight back down so you could compete in combat sports?
first off, like when I started training more, my weight just gradually started coming down because I stopped lifting. Because in rugby league, it's like NFL or like American football, you lift a lot of weights
Right.
for power and that. So as soon as I started lifting weights, naturally my body just started coming smaller, and then I had to learn about eating good. I never got taught that, but there were so many speed bumps along the way. Like one time I did a diet where I was only eating almonds and water for 3 weeks,
Uh,
and I was shitting out almonds
yeah.
and water only out of.
Right. But
So
did you get
um,
any results from that though?
yeah, not really. Besides depletion, yeah.
Right. Recently, we saw on your Instagram that you were having FaceTimes with celebrities. Tell us a little bit about that, man.
No, that's not real. It's just a joke.
Right.
You gotta do something to entertain yourself during this isolation.
But have you had people hit you up asking you, man, how'd you get his number? And people are fascinated by
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I had hit people. Even my own daughter believes me because she's a
Yeah.
big fan of Justin. And she's only 60. She's only 7 years old. But yeah, a lot of people like they were telling me, because how do you know Justin? Like I went to high school with him, and they're like, no way, and they go, yeah. And then I, I pull them along for a little bit, but then I get not sick of it, but I was I better stop before it gets too far. And then I tell them it's just the filter.
Right. Because I assume they have to be asking you, man, can you get his autograph? Can you have him call me and stuff like that? I assume it gets pretty crazy.
Nah, I just spin a little lie, and then I can't spin it for too long, and then
Right.
I've got to tell the truth at the end.
Right, gotta remain honest. So far in your MMA
Yeah.
career, I mean, you're undefeated. I assume that's got to be going well for you. Is there a certain extra pressure when you head into these fights, knowing that you've got this beautiful undefeated record?
No, no pressure. I just go in there and fight. I love getting in there and compete and fight. But no, no pressure at all. I don't think about my record. I just want to get in there and win, get the job done, make sure I do it like make it look obvious that I've won, and
Right.
try and punish. Like I don't think about my record. I don't go in there. As long as I go in, as long as I put in the hard work in all my training and that, be honest with myself, then I've got nothing to worry about. Yeah, I guess like anyone else.
And I believe they have you ranked as the number 5 prospect coming out of both Australia and New Zealand. Do you think like the UFC and bigger organizations are gonna start sniffing around you?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I'm, I try to make sure I'm doing all the right things, especially when this virus is gone.
Right.
I want to make sure that I'm ready and fit to go. That's why I'm trying to stay ready. Is make sure my weight's low and everything's low, because you don't know what's going to happen after this. So
Right.
if by the time this virus is finished, I want to be 10 steps in front of every other competitor, so I'm ready. Because I know a lot of fighters are now, they can't do their normal schedule of training. I'm still doing that same schedule of training, running, training. It's like a normal day of training, but I'm doing it in my garage.
And so last time we saw you fight, I believe, was in October. Is it frustrating knowing that you weren't able to get a fight at the beginning of the year, and now it might take a long time before you fight again?
Yeah, it gets like that. It's just you scratch your head and you go, what the hell's going
Right.
on? And then you got like I think that's what it's true what they say. You got to surround yourself around good people, and the people around me they just say, man, you just gotta. When it gets like this is where you got to be the most patient. You can't get frustrated. You can't push. You just gotta not wait and see. You just gotta see. Like just let it happen. So like I always say, trust the process. So yeah, that's all I can do at the moment. I can't just unless I go to the pub and go, oh, you want to fight?
Right.
But you can't do that. I won't be fighting again. I'll probably end up in jail cell or something.
Yeah, and you got to practice social distancing. So it's a couple factors that are going for you.
Yeah,
And so you mentioned the people you surround yourself with. I believe one of your training partners is Robert Whittaker, right?
yeah.
And what?
Robert Whittaker, man. Other people got it as well. Like my brother Shione, Jacob Malkoon, another prospect, David Francis, James Van Der Rakkers, Brad Fulmer, guys like that. Same dream, same goal. We all want to go the same way.
And what's it like training with guys like that? Because obviously you've got a former UFC champion, a bunch of prospects. You guys all have sort of very similar goals and stuff. What's it like surrounding yourself with people like that?
It's good and bad.
Right.
Like bad in a good way. I mean, like these days we get bashed, these days we don't get bashed, but it's all part of training. It's fun.
Right. That
But
makes.
it's not only that, but like guys like Rob's experience, it's like he's had like your older brother. He tells you the do's and don'ts of the fight game, the do's and don'ts in dieting, and he puts his input about what about if you do this instead of that, like your like an older wiser brother.
Right. That makes sense. Got to be very helpful for you. Listen, I have just one more question, then we'll let you go. It's kind of a tough one with everything that's going on, but realistically, when do you think we'll see you fight again?
Uh, I don't know.
Right.
This year doesn't look too promising, but if I hopefully end of this year or hopefully this year or early next year or as soon as possible.
Right. Well, hopefully we'll see you fight out there again soon. Thank you so much for the time, man. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you.